From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. The award-winning
evening, lights, cameras, and pressure will be on the vice presidential candidates. Sandra Endo is in Kentucky, where the big night. The main question is, how will this face-off be different from last week's?
The race for the White House is now focused on center, site of tonight's vice presidential face-off. Republican Paul Ryan doesn't deny considerably more Achilles heel.
And I know how the problem he has is he has Barack Obama's record he has to run on.
With the polls tightening in Danville are high, especially after last week's presidential debate, where Mitt Romney was widely viewed as emerging of his end up distracting from the message, such as this comment over the summer in Virginia.
Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Well, nothing like standing up before 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million people, you know, and so all debates are tough, but I'm looking forward to it.
President Obama, he has confidence in his running mate.
I think Joe just needs to be Joe. Congressman Ryan is smart.
Tonight at 6:45 p.m.
Democrats blast engage on important.
The GOP challenger pulled ahead among independent voters in two key swing states.
And Phila Assure questioner talked to of American ally satisfaction
of what's possible. Some people really do here, you know, and you have to kind of help them understand that life's all about challenges.
Depression makes people focus on the negative in their lives. I feel in BYU student John Preston knows all too well.
If I'm not doing anything, I feel a lot more lazy. I don't feel as good about myself, you know, but when I'm active and doing stuff, I feel better.
Sometimes it's someone you care about who's a struggler.
He's getting up in the mornings. He doesn't want to go out and have fun. It was hard, but now.
Even now for
Nader says yes, and a lot of people ask for help after they come. The event will be open today until 5. Here at the Career Center in the Wilkinson Center.
Homes in foreclosure from last year. U.S. Market reports filed for.
It has passed Sansom as the voice of Rabbit, but friends say he could imitate more than 250 voices. Sansom is in the Utah Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
To extreme measures to save one Florida man.
BYU football.
The man pleaded 66 criminal after today's hearing is to move forward.
Emergency crews in Florida put life over limb. A young hacker finds flaws in Google's security, and bears aren't just in books for a Washington elementary school class. Here's your look at news from across the nation. A parking structure in Florida collapsed like stacks of pancakes, trapping several people inside. To get one man out of the rubble, crews had to cut off both his legs. Emergency workers rushed 8 others to hospitals. 2 died in the collapse. Another person is unaccounted for. Officials still don't know what caused the collapse. An old hacker called Pinkie Pie collects $60,000 for finding a bug in Google Chrome. The company first started offering a bug bounty in 2010. Pinkie Pie took home one of the first prizes that year. This week, he earned another big reward for finding a security flaw. Google fixed the software problem within 10 hours of the bug exposure. And imagine looking out your school window and seeing a mama bear and 3 cubs walking by. That's what a classroom of 4th graders near Seattle saw this week. The school went on lockdown while wildlife officers brought in dogs to chase the bears away. They say bears are not uncommon in that area. And that's your look at news from around the nation. Sean?
Many BYU students are walking around campus today with blue faces. The annual True Blue Foam festivities left their skin Smurf-like. 11 News reporter London Clausen shows us the hard work behind this spirited homecoming event.
The big football game may be on Saturday, but these Cougar fans have a football game now full of blue, frothy foam.
I think it's a blast. I don't know of any other school that has this activity, and I think it's just an awesome activity.
The whole thing is run by volunteers from the student body. Zoe Theobald is the lead volunteer and says that hard work and cleverness make this one of the most popular homecoming events this week.
And so many people be excited to help out and make this experience really fun. So.
The foam may be fun to slip and slide in, but how hard is it to make these blue bubbles?
The soap is actually a fire retardant, and so it's a soap concentration that's designed for putting out fires.
Nettie Rowland's #1 goal is to unite the students with a big blue party. Even after a night of scrubbing, some students still wear the tinted blue skin to their morning classes.
Promote the sense of loyalty and spirit to BYU. Promote the sense of what it means to be a student at BYU.
With these happy, spirited faces covered in blue, the volunteers say that their event was a success. From the Hillman Fields, London Clausen, 11 News.
The True Blue spirit will continue this week with the BYU Spectacular tonight and tomorrow at 7:30, the homecoming parade on Saturday morning, and the blackout football game against Oregon State. Well, Ariel, we've had some interesting weather. It's been Jekyll and Hyde so far this week as we go into homecoming weekend. What can we expect?
You know what? We have your 11 News weather when we return for the football game this Saturday. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in Provo, and we're going to have, look, as you can see behind me, we have clouds, and it's going to be a warmer, sunny day for us today, even reaching possibly up to 80 degrees, which is abnormal for this time of year. We've only had a few of those, but that's exciting. Currently standing in Provo, we're having warmer temperatures, but we're at about 52 degrees right now. So on our way up to that 75, 80 degree temperature with a humidity about 76% and calm wind speeds. Tonight, what to expect tonight, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers this evening, standing at about 47%, and our sunset at 6:53 p.m. and with an east wind of about 7 to 11 miles per hour this evening. So going to have a chilly night. Taking a look at the bigger picture, we have some warmer air that's pushing up into our state and causing those warmer temperatures for this time of year in our fall season. With the west area, we're having these storm temperatures coming in, while those low storm pressures pushing this way, that's going to enter our state. Should have already hit St. George yesterday and will hit us up here in northern Utah Friday. And looking at our highs across the state, we have Logan at about 77, Salt Lake 77 as well, and Provo we're going to be at, it's supposed to say 80, and then St. George at 75, and Moab at 78. So pretty uniform temperatures across the state, but like I said, a little warmer today than we should be expecting. Thursday, 73, 56. In southern Utah, 61 and 51. So we're going to be having showers in southern Utah this week, and looks like a promising sunny weekend for down there. Back up hitting 81 and 82 Sunday and Monday. Northern 5-day forecast. We are going to have a warmer, cloudy day today, 75, 51, and then we should have some showers tomorrow, 61 and 47 for that. So not too cold, but a little chillier. Saturday for our football game, it's going to be a little cloudy, nice cloud coverage for the game. So a cloudy, sunny weekend for the homecoming football game this weekend. And that's something to look forward to.
Awesome, Ariel. Thanks for that.
Definitely. Well, in Clint, this might be the best time of the year for sports. You look at it, you got the baseball playoffs going, you got football in full swing, basketball starting back up again. Pretty good month to be a sports fan.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be talking about two of those threes next on Sports. Tenacious defender, what this player's been doing to make offensive players take notice. And baseball heroics, how many ninth inning nail biters can you have in one night? I'll tell you when we come back. BYU's third overall ranked defense is led by the terror at outside linebacker known as Kyle Van Noy. The junior has his name in numerous defensive award talks, and Phil Steele named into the midseason All-American second-team defense. Van Noy leads the Cougars with 6.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 10.5 tackles for loss. He'll have to bring his A game against the number 10 ranked Oregon State Beavers, who are 8th in the nation in passing yards. But OSU quarterback Cody Vaz has a target on his back. Ty Detmer will show up on the field this Saturday as BYU plays Oregon State. No, he won't be taking snaps and throwing touchdowns. Detmer will be honored for his induction into the College Football Hall of Fame. He will join 6 other Cougars, including Gordon Hudson, Steve Young, Jim McMahon, Mark Wilson, Gifford Nielsen, and Lavelle Edwards. Detmer won the Heisman Trophy in 1990 and still holds 9 NCAA records, leading a successful Cougars team in the late 80s and early 90s. Tonight, the women's soccer and volleyball teams will continue their WCC play at home. The number 5 soccer team will take the pitch against San Francisco. They're still riding high on a 10-game unbeaten streak and look to score early and often against a Dones team that has lost 2 in a row. Number 16 volleyball comes home after 2 weeks of road games. They're a perfect 5-0 at home and face a struggling Portland team that has lost 7 matches in a row. Both games will start at 7 p.m. and the soccer game will air on BYU TV. Lance Armstrong continues the battle against the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency to clear his name. He is charged with using performance-enhancing drugs for years, and recently the USADA wants to strip him of his record 7 Tour de France titles. Armstrong demanded the names of those who testified against him. The USADA released a 150-page report and named 11 of Lance Armstrong's former teammates who took the stand against him. The New York Yankees added another scintillating performance to their rich history as baseball's golden child. Last night's game, however, had a new hero step up to the plate. We pick up in the bottom of the 9th with the Orioles clinging to a 1-point lead. Raul Ibanez at the plate, pinch hitting for Alex Rodriguez, goes yard to send the game into extra innings. To the 12th, same score, Ibanez at the plate. Does he do it again? Absolutely. Thank you very much, Brian Mattis. I'll take that to go. Upper deck, Yankees win in walk-off fashion to take a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series. Ibanez had 2 at-bats and 2 homers to end this one in dramatic fashion. Over to Detroit in Oakland's Game 4, Prince Fielder blasts one straight away to center field, Tigers up 2-0. Again in the bottom of the 9th, 2 on, no outs. Seth Smith's clutch hit, 2 scores on this one as to tie it up, and Smith is amped about that one. Going on, 2 outs later, Smith is in scoring position on second with Coco Crisp at the plate. He'll play hero with this walk-off base hit to end the game and stave off elimination. The A's will live another day, and they mob Crisp in celebration. Looking at the National League games, they didn't have the same endgame heroics as the American League. The NL featured dominant pitcher performances in their 2 games. San Francisco used Tim Lincecum as a relief pitcher to pull away from the Reds 8-3. And the St. Louis Cardinals had a shutout game from starting pitcher Chris Carpenter and company, as the Cards cruised to an 8-0 victory.
Well, all I know is that I'm glad to see Oakland win. It's always fun to see the little market, the small market, little guys win.
Yeah, and I always enjoy the Game 5. You know, everything's up for grabs. It doesn't matter who'd won before that.
That's true, and everyone does love an underdog. Thanks, Clint. Still to come on 11 News at noon. Cash Cab. What would you do if you found $250,000 in your car? This Las Vegas cab driver's decision paid off big. We'll be right back.
In a city full of money and temptation, one cab driver shows honesty goes a long way. Adam Wolder-Merriam of Las Vegas found a briefcase with $250,000 in cash left in his cab. He immediately turned it into the company's lost and found department. The money's grateful owner rewarded the cab driver with $2,000. It's quite the tip. The cab driver of 7 years says he'll send the money to family in Ethiopia.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, it's good guy there.
A nice thing to do.
That's true. That's 11 News at noon for Thursday, October 11th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.